A lot of the time, it's not about strategy. It's about your mindset and your frequency first, right? And so if I'm always in this dog paddling energy, it doesn't matter what strategy I do. It could ultimately be the winning strategy, but my frequency and my energy is kind of like desperation. So it's just not going to click. True aligned success shouldn't feel this way. You shouldn't have to shift strategies every month or 2 months. That's not how success works. You find something, it may take a minute, but you click into it and you can ride on that for a long time. Welcome to The Introverted Influencer, a podcast for the woman who's over getting advice from 20-year-old business coaches on Bali sabbaticals and 7-figure entrepreneurs who only share their wins. I'm your host, Erica Van Slyke, blogger turned soulpreneur, mom of 2, and a mentor for women done with the hustle. Here, sacred strategy meets feminine flow, and we expose what it really takes to build a business grounded in purpose, not trends, a brand that moves with your rhythm, not the algorithm, because you didn't leave your 9-to-5 grind just to build a shinier cage with your name on it. Well, hey there, love. Welcome back to episode 90 of The Introverted Influencer. So I am in my soft girl era right now. I know I referenced to that like last episode, and I said I'd kind of explain a little more of what the hell does soft girl era mean. Soft girl summer is what I've named it officially. But essentially, there's a few things going on. My oldest son, is about to go into middle school. And I have always worked. I never allowed myself to just be a mom and to truly lean into that really like surrendered, flowy, feminine aspect. I feel it just is so important to experience that with him this summer before I lose him, before he's just way too cool for me. I mean, he's already there, but I really wanted to experience that in the capacity that I can. I mean, I still have to serve clients, but I'm not taking on a ton of work. I'm only doing like aligned things that are not going to take up too much of my bandwidth. And I'm still kind of showing up on the blog, like maybe 2 posts a month, but I'm stepping out of always being on, always thinking about income, money, content, and really leaning into that to be more present for my son, well, both of my kids. And it's not easy, especially when you've never done that before. It feels weird. And then number 2, I've found myself, particularly with my blog, that there have been so many changes and I can find a strategy that works, but it's very short-lived. And then it's like, okay, that shit doesn't work anymore. On to the next thing. But what I have kind of come to the conclusion to with the spiritual work I'm doing in conjunction with still trying to lean into living a life I want to live, and that would mean, making money, basically being myself, having a blog, doing what lights me up, is that a lot of the time it's not about strategy. It's about your mindset and your frequency first, right? And so if I'm always in this dog paddling energy, I know damn well it doesn't matter what strategy I do. It could ultimately be the winning strategy, but my frequency and my energy that I'm putting out is kind of like desperation. So it's just not going to click. That's the second layer of this, is it's very spiritual in that I know, because I've had success in the past, that true aligned success shouldn't feel this way. You shouldn't have to shift strategies every month or 2 months. That's not how success works. You find something, it may take a minute, but you click into it and you can ride on that for a long time. And it does get to be easy. It really does, because I've had easy success. So I know. So I know that I'm out of alignment. And then number 3, I've gone through so many things right now, so many things in the past year or 2. And I believe that I've glossed over triggers and traumas, and I've just what a lot of people consider like spiritual bypass. You just try to be positive, you try to move on and alchemize it and get on. And then the fourth reason is that I need to know, what do I even want anymore? I've been doing the influencer content creator thing for 10 years. Do I still like showing up on social? Do I still like being seen on that level? Is it still fun? Is that still what my soul is saying it needs? So I'm about a month into this soft girl summer, and it's been weird because I had these grand expectations. And the first part of it was like yummy, juicy, divine. And then we get into about week 2 or week 3. And it was like a 2-week span of just complete yucky weather and rain. So like we couldn't even get outside. So I started to go stir crazy. My ego was like, you need to be working. What the hell are you doing? Like, this is so irresponsible. I mean, yes, I'm doing client work, but this was like, you got to show up on the blog. Oh my gosh, you haven't shown up on social. Like, you're going to lose all of your momentum. You're going to lose your reach. You're going to upset that algorithm. Yada, 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 yada. But I resisted that guilt and that egoic urge to always be on. And I want to share with you that on the other side is a little more clarity. And I'm kind of easing into this, but this isn't really a tangent. It's related to kind of the message I wanted to share with you today. And that is to allow yourself some space in whatever way you can to kind of feel the hurt and feel the disappointment and feel the grief, to really feel it. And if you're the type like me that you just like to glaze over it and like move on, and you know you're going to be the phoenix rising and this is your like I'm a comeback queen kind of thing, because that's just kind of a coping mechanism for me. And I think it's gotten me in some really awesome places, but I think there comes a time when it's like when one thing hits you and then another thing hits you and shit keeps hitting you, maybe you should like take a look at that and sit with it and sit with the pain and sit with the hurt. I've shared in other episodes how I've really gotten into the wisdom of Kabbalah, and it's very interesting in the parallels between like some of the Kabbalah teachings and then like manifestation. And manifestation, it's all about like you've got to maintain this certain frequency and you've got to be high vibe and you've got to be in the frequency of what you want. You've got to be a match where you can't receive it. So like it's not good to dip too low and to feel depressed and to slow down and be sad. That would be like a no-no in your new agey kind of manifestation modality. Quick pause, you beautiful soul. So if you've been vibing with this episode and you are building a brand, a blog, or even a brick and mortar business, I would love to support you in your journey. I am so freaking excited to announce that I am now offering one-on-one consulting for creatives and entrepreneurs who want to grow with their feminine flow, their soul essence, and are over the hustle, over the burnout, and done spinning their wheels on strategy that doesn't even fucking convert. To learn more about my offerings and to book something with me, head on over to introvertedinfluence.com. And now let's get back into it. And in Kabbalah, apparently, you can't receive the light of the creator either when you are in a lower frequency. Unless, there's a caveat here, unless you are using that darkness to actually feel the pain, sit with it, and listen to God, listen to the universe, and try to understand what that pain is trying to tell you. I've allowed myself to do that, and it's not easy, but I'm getting so many revelations right now. And it's crazy too, just like how my creativity, I had a week where I was just like worthless and useless, but I was kind of trying to like fight that urge to still produce and perform. And the past few days, I feel like I've hit this, like, I've got so many ideas, creative ideas. I've especially like been so invigorated again by design. So I know deep down for a while, it was like, well, do you even like to decorate? Do you even like design? That's why I started my blog. And that's how I had my success. And that was like, yes, I actually do, but I can't have all these influences of like social media always in my face or Pinterest always in my face. It was like I was getting new inspiration that I knew was just me. It was like my own style, and that was so cool. But that wouldn't have happened if I felt like, oh God, I got to keep showing up on social media because I'm just the type, I can't just get on and post and get off. Like I want to support all my friends and like engage with their posts. So then I end up like wasting an entire hour, down the rabbit hole. And so that's been so good, is that like I know deep down that expressing and creativity and design is still so soul aligned for me. And I'm getting new ideas on that. But not only that, I can start to see why things are having to happen the way they are. And I can see that it is working in my favor. And then I think the total act of me doing the opposite of what I normally do when I'm in scarcity and panic, which would be, work and dog paddle and try to find the meaning already of why I'm going through what I'm going through, or trying to find a new way to replace that lost income, try to find a new strategy, try to take on a new client, whatever that is, to just really sit in it. I'm seeing kind of from a bird's eye view, which is cool. And then even better, I just yesterday, multiple manifestations came through. A major sponsorship, even though I haven't even freaking posted to my Instagram in a week. Well, it was supposed to be only a week, and I'm enjoying my time away from it right now. So it's turned into 2 weeks. I've only been posting on my blog twice a month, and someone just randomly emails me from a big company, and they're like, "Hey, we want to pay you blah, blah, blah for you to just put use some affiliate links in this blog post." And I was like, no, I want double that. And they're like, "Okay, we can do that." I was like, really? It is that easy, right? And then I got a random magazine feature, and I thought, well, who cares? I've already been in multiple magazines. I don't know that I'm just going to bend over backwards and be like, "Sure, use my photo and my work for your magazine." So I said, yeah, I'll be in the magazine if you'll pay me for the use of my photos. They came back and they were like, "Yeah, Hearst magazine wrote me a check," or Hearst Publications, they're over all the big magazines. "Sure, we'll do that." And then another potential client that could be big came through, all within these past 2 days. And what was I doing? I was not dog paddling. I was not showing up. I was not trying a new strategy. I was really sitting in surrender and presence, and kind of, like I said, the opposite is the medicine. So I think it's important to don't take this to heart, because this may not be for you if you've been the type that you're not showing up, you're not being consistent, those kinds of things. Your medicine may be to actually show up and to try and to continue to show up. For me, it was, I was trying all of these things and nothing was working. So for me, the magic was in the surrender, and also just being in my authentic ease, because that ease, I value that so much. Now, the shadow side of that would be lazy, right? And so, yeah, the ego is wanting to come in and make me feel lazy for not doing all these things. But the spiritual side, the side that's connected to God, the universe, that, it's that intuition that just, it overrides logic, right? So pretty crazy stuff. But if you're kind of in one of those seasons where it's just like, my God, I cannot find the flow here. I've tried everything and it's not clicking. I want you to know, first off, that's not the way it should be. So something does need to change. I don't know if it's your energy, most likely, or even, are you in alignment? Do you still authentically love what you do? Is that still your passion? Because we're allowed to change. Most people do change. We're completely new people today than we were a year ago, a few months ago, and that's okay. Lean into it. But if you're always keeping yourself busy, performing to keep up, you don't even give yourself space to have those downloads. So with that, lean into the pain, sit with it, get quiet, try to learn from it. But then you can't stay there, and you can't be a constant victim, and you can't be, someone that just complains all the time and your problems are the only problems that matter. I've been around people like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm also saying, don't be toxically positive and spiritually bypass everything with just filling up your day with all these tasks, because that's not serving you either. So I don't know if you just heard that. I got a golden retriever puppy, and he is up from his nap and he is not happy. So I think that's a good cue that I need to wrap it up here. But with that, don't let hustle culture tell you you're broken, you're wrong, you're lazy for needing some time in nature or with your kids, or even freaking watching. One of the days before I manifested all these things, I was like, I want some donuts, and I want to lay in bed and drink wine and watch design shows and eat donuts, because I'm always so on with my diet. And I did it, and it felt good. And look, it made me magnetic. So I don't know, maybe donuts and wine and binging out on some shows, it may do you some good if you never, if you deny yourself of that all the time. So yeah, my spiritual advice right there, donuts and wine. But anyhow, with that, I'm sending you so much love, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We could keep on spreading the word about this podcast. And 2 ways you can help me out is by leaving me a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this episode on, or you can actually take a screenshot of this episode and tag me over on Instagram at Designing Vibes. And of course, I would love you to DM me whatever resonates, and I am sending you so much love.